Oh, how'd I miss that one? He also says, I always wonder where that snippet of Tiger Style comes from at the beginning. John, that's in. Okay, so that is from the Wu-Tang Clan. If you're like the what, who? That's from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Well, that's the dumbest thing I've heard of.
No, it's serious. So when I was in high school, my buddy Gavin and I, when we would work on like papers back in the day, man, we'd put on the Wu-Tang Clan 36 Chambers album and just rock it out. And so the beginning of maybe that entire album starts with that little phrase right there, Tiger Style. And so at Clemson, I'm glad you got me on this, John, because this is a pretty good story. So at Clemson, there's a little, 2000 and maybe 2001, 2002. There's a little white Honda Civic rolling around with Tiger Style written in like this kind of Asian script, I guess. Kind of looks like, I think it's actually the same script that's on the Teriyaki Express or whatever the restaurant's called. So same font as that. And there's this cute girl driving the car. And I'm like, well, either, she's a Clemson student. So maybe she's, it's just her thing is she's Tiger Style or whatever. And so I kind of see this girl and I think, man, she's good looking, And well, that's my wife now. So it turns out that it was Tiger Style. Further, it turns out that it was the Wu-Tang Clan. And, instead of like turtle shelling that thing and hiding from it, I just went for it.
No woulda, shoulda, couldas. Do what I can while I can so that when I cannot, I will not wish that I would have when I could have.
Thank you, Coach. So I did. And we've been married 15 years. So there you go. That's the story. So we both, actually, our favorite rap, hip hop group was the same one, which is kind of crazy because it's not exactly the first. It's not the first hip hop name that jumps off of the tongue when somebody asks you who's the best hip hop group or whatever. If you don't subscribe to our channel, hit the subscribe button right now. What are you thinking about? What are you wasting your time for? Go to YouTube and subscribe, man. We're up over 100 subscribers in the past 2 weeks or whatever it is. I mean, it says 30 days, but we've only been at this for a couple of weeks, maybe a week and a half. And I love what we've been doing. If you haven't checked that channel out, please do. Again, the Clemson Sports Talk YouTube channel. We talked with the folks out at scoopduck.com. We've talked with Mike Uva today. Mike gave us the situation with South Carolina's quarterback group. And again, look, this is not to diminish Eastern Illinois, but if you're South Carolina, thank goodness you don't open up with East Carolina and you open up with Eastern Illinois, and that those games aren't flip-flopped, and that you got a little bit more time before you get into the brunt of the SEC schedule for the Gamecocks this year. And again, I've said all along, I will continue to say it, I think it is going to be a tough road for Shane Beamer this year. But I truly believe that he has a chance to be successful in Columbia. Now, how long does he get? That'll be a big question. Gamecock Nation, I understand your patience is thin. And part of that is the fact that you've just come off of the greatest run of success in the history of your program under Coach Steve Spurrier. In the job that he did, beating Clemson 5 consecutive years in a row, the 11-win finishes, back-to-back seasons, all of that feels so close, but yet so far. And it might feel differently if Clemson had not been this juggernaut that was going out and playing for college football championships and winning them and getting in the playoffs and becoming one of the 2 preeminent programs in college football. Like if Clemson was just 1998 Clemson, 2002 Clemson, maybe South Carolina fans don't take as much, every bit of pain that you have in football season would have also come along with some joy of being able to go, look at you, Clemson, you're not great either. But it's been the opposite. Carolina's been essentially abysmal, and Clemson's been this rocket ship. And the thing that you can celebrate is, yeah, you got beat by Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl in the college football playoff. You know, the bad moments for Clemson have been so few and far between in the midst of this incredibly difficult time for South Carolina fans. And patience is the thing. And if these two teams had played a year ago, Clemson would have won, 7 consecutive games. Instead, they didn't play. And Clemson will look for I believe, their 7th consecutive victory in this series. And I think this thing reasonably could go out to 10 or more without me feeling stunned about it. And that's giving Shane Beamer the benefit of improving South Carolina's program. Like, I think it is feasible, reasonable, arguable. You could argue that Shane Beamer will improve South Carolina's program substantially. I think that's a belief that you can absolutely have. But maybe maybe in 4 or 5 years, they're an 8-4, 9-3 team. But it would most likely be 9-3, and Clemson's one of your losses. Like, Clemson on South Carolina's schedule, unless they're playing Alabama, it is the pinnacle. It is the top. It's the best team that you play. You know, it's the tip of the iceberg. They're the last team on South Carolina's schedule you're more likely to defeat over the next 8 seasons, 5 seasons, whatever the number is. Clemson's the best team South Carolina plays every year right now, unless they play Alabama. Truth.
Our 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 7th